Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to another great episode of On the Throttle with Jackie Van Ham and my buddy Josh, talking about all sorts of awesome stuff going on out here in motorcycling and power sports. Today, Josh, today is a special day. Today is the day that we are going
They're
to
all
talk
special.
about what is going on. It is that magical time of year. It is time for Sturgis Brother. And we're going to be talking about Sturgis in my neck of the woods. What do you have going on for today in your neck of the woods?
So I became pretty close to selling all my worldly possessions to do something. And, most great motorcycling stories start out with, hey, watch this. And that's the second story we're going to talk about. So we're going to follow up about a hey, watch this that we had.
Well, we are going to talk about those great sounding stories and more when we come back after word from our sponsor.
The only scan tool you need, the MotorScan Universal Diagnostic Scan Tool, for motorcycles, scooters, ATVs and UTVs, and side-by-sides. Handheld and easy to use. Works with 87 brands, over 6,000 models, and more than 16,000 applications.
The LS2 Thunder Carbon, FIM approved, World Championship technology, lightweight, aerodynamic, outrageous margins. Visit ls2usa.com.
Well, I have to admit, Josh, my curiosity is piqued. I have to know what you were willing to sell all of your earthly possessions for. I can't wait to hear about your stories for today. I'm going to let you go ahead and kick it off. What's going on, Josh?
So this one, it was something that popped up, and I saw it about a day after it popped up on the radar. Aprilla is putting on the Tuareg Experience 2022. It is 6 days in Baja on a rented Tuareg. That sounds like a pretty good time if you ask me. So, and I mean, they even teased out some photos that we've got here and everything like that. So you check in on October 23rd. There's no riding that day, but you get up bright and early, and you leave from San Diego on that Sunday, the 24th. You are gone then for 6 days, and you're going to cover a little over 1,000 miles. You're going to hit Ensenada, which is famous for being a Baja stop. You're going to hit San Felipe, Bahia de Los Angeles. I took 2 years of Spanish, and that's as close as I'm going to get. Catavina, and then back to Ensenada, back to San Diego. This, to me, sounds like a pretty fun time to go out. I mean, first off, anytime you get to ride a motorcycle that's not yours, that is a fun time. I mean, that's the biggest things here. So the other thing is you write a check for $3,500. Actually, they wanted a credit card for it. For $3,500, that includes room, that includes meals, that includes chase vehicle. Like I said, a little over 1,000 miles is what they're going to do with this. Now, the other thing that I saw in this, and I know you're going to love this one, Jackie, the most important thing in my saddlebags are snacks, and they're even including some snacks in the chase vehicle. So to me, all of this was amazing. Yeah, I was ready to, put an auction sign out front. I saw it about 2 days after it went up. Sold out, as we show on our last slide here. This, to me, was both super exciting and super disappointed. As soon as I saw the sold out thing, I started to cry a little bit, but then I realized, too, that, it probably would have been $3,500 I should have spent on something else. But what else is there besides a motorcycle trip? What I find really interesting, you would have done this in a heartbeat, right, Jackie?
Yes, I would have, honestly. I did actually, Josh. I'm so glad you brought this up because I did see this floating around on the internet, and I was immediately like, that's a yes from me. That checks all of my boxes. There's going to be fish tacos involved. This beautiful Aprilia, which I absolutely am here for. I love the looks of this bike. I love this colorway. I love this retro vibe it's got going on. I think that is just such a great looking ride. I am definitely, I would sign up for that in a second. I love that Aprilia has been doing for their road bikes this season. They
Yes.
announced several months ago, you and I covered it here on the show, that they are going and doing track days all over the country, showing off their new bikes, but you
Yep.
can also bring your own bike. It's a track day. You get to ride their stuff. You ride your stuff. There's lunch. I mean, this all sounds pretty dope to me. And they had it at great tracks all across the country. I actually ran into their demo
Yes, they
truck.
are.
Not literally, but I saw their demo truck when I was out at Laguna Seca. So you even had the chance, as a consumer to go on ahead, ride some of
Yep.
their rad new whips, and do take advantage of some of the greatest tracks in the country. So I was really pumped to hear that they went one step further and are now like really leaning all the way into the full experiential marketing
For
program
sure.
and letting people ride their bikes. There's a chase vehicle to lug all your stuff so you don't have to lug your stuff. There's hotels, there's food. I mean,
Yep.
this is all a yes for me. I would absolutely put this on my to-do list.
So there's one thing that's kind of related to this too, and very closely related. There was another company that we talked about doing this. I think it was about a month and a half ago in Goosey. So
Yes,
what's it? And
Moto Guzzi
obviously,
is doing this. Yes.
same parent company. And I think they're figuring out that, you know what, we want to get bikes out there. What a better way to do it than, as you commonly say, I'm going to use your saying, putting butts in seats. Go out. I mean, if you don't already have a Tuareg and you spend a week on it, you're going to love the thing probably. I mean, 9 guesses out of 10, you're going to the dealership to buy one, and you're going to probably turn into one of the biggest brand ambassadors that they have, and they're never going to pay you a cent. To me, this is the type of marketing that moves things forward. I'm loving seeing it.
Yeah, this moves the needle. This is such a big deal, for marketing, for motorcycling. This is really, really important here
Yeah.
because it's showing, and you totally, and you nailed it. You touched on it. Not only are these people going to go ride this awesome adventure, take great photos, put them on
Yep.
social media, therefore they become your little foot soldiers. It is an absolute fact. The longer the butt is in the seat, the way more likely you are to sell that bike to that person. I mean, I can't imagine anybody
Yeah.
climbing off of this after having an epic adventure for 6 days straight and being like, "Nah, here's the keys back. See you later." No, no, no. They're gonna sell every single one of these bikes. I absolutely guarantee. And
Yep.
that sounds like a heck of an adventure. What a great story to bring to us today, Josh. Speaking of great stories
So
and
I
speaking
was
of
about to say,
great
your
adventures,
adventure, you're going north.
I've only got one story for you all today, but it's a big one. It's a doozy. It is Sturgis, brother. That's right. It's that time of year. We're headed out to Sturgis. I will be joining 500,000 of my closest motorcycling friends at the world's largest birthday party for myself. August 8th, by the way, in case you missed out. It is and it is every year. It is at Sturgis, and I am at Sturgis every single year. There is so much to do. I know Josh and I love to butt heads and joke around about V-twin culture, V-twin lifestyle. He is more of a dirt bike guy. He is terrifically old. He's very boring. Anyway, I enjoy these
I'm okay
rallies.
with
I
it.
enjoy the fact that there is so much to do, and here's two things that can happen very, very easily. Either there's so much to do that you get overwhelmed and you miss out on stuff because you just don't keep track of it. Or number two, you're just not aware of all the stuff that's going on. So I am here to bring you some of my favorite things happening out at Sturgis. The first slide on your screen right now, the Emergent Virgin. This is this year's theme for the notorious and incredible custom bike show hosted by legendary motorcycle photographer Michael Lichter. This show opens at the Buffalo Chip. It is open running. The bikes are placed. You can go and check it out anytime you want. It is free to the public. You do not have to have a wristband to get into the Buffalo Chip. This is on the back side of the chip at one of their buildings. You don't have to have a wristband to get in. It's free. It is curated every single year. It is a global type event. Bikes come from all over the world to show at this curated bike show because it is that high caliber. And every year it has the theme. This year's theme is Emergent Virgin, and what Michael Lichter means by that is folks that have never been to or been invited to his shows previously. They are brand new to this scene, to this culture, of going out at Sturgis and showing bikes at his awesome party. Speaking of parties, the party for this show happens Saturday night. It is industry only. It is a bit VIP. It happens Saturday the 6th. I will be at that, of course, with every single custom bike builder that you can imagine. Now, next on your slide, another great party being hosted by the folks over at Cardo. They are hosting a party going on the 6th of August. I try to do these in chronological order throughout the week. So again, this is Saturday night. This is the 6th. This is going to be happening at 6th and Lazelle. Look for the Rumble On booth or Rumble On tent. This will have Mr. Kerry Hart and his buddy Big B will be guest bartending there. All sorts of motorcycle influencers and folks out here on the interwebs who work with Cardo are going to be on hand, and it's going to be a heck of a good time. I enjoy the folks over at Cardo. I am stoked they're hosting a party, and I will quite probably be stopping by to check this guy out. So come by and come say hey to me at either of those two parties on Saturday. Now, Next slide on the screen. If you were not aware, the history of Sturgis, as well as every other large motorcycling rally in the United States, is the history of these rallies is actually in racing. And there is plenty of racing to be had out at Sturgis. I think it doesn't get quite enough press because it is such a huge party and concert scene, but there is every type of racing you can imagine is happening out at Sturgis, just like it does every single year. There is dirt track from the folks over at Arma. They have got 4 different days of it going on at the Jack Pine Gypsies track. They've got August 6th. They got the 9th. You can see it on your screen right now. I am blind as a bat, so I'm going to go ahead and open up my iPad so I can see it. It's the 8th, it's the 9th, it's the 11th, and the 12th. They're going to be having TT and short track going on. Again, this is the folks over at Arma, American Historical Racing Motorcycle Association. They are also hosting a cross country. They're hosting some hill climbs. They're hosting a trials. They are doing all sorts of rad stuff out there. Make sure you go check out arma.org for the full calendar. Next up, speaking of great racing, my friends over at Flat Out Friday also have got a race going on. This is going to be the American Hooligan Finals. This is a flat track race. This is hosted by my buddies at Flat Out Friday, who host the super fun race event in Milwaukee every single year. This is August 8th and 9th. This is again at the Jack Pine Gypsies Motorcycle Club. Notice the trend here. Yeah, Jack Pine Gypsies is the place you want to go for awesome dirt racing during the entire week of the Sturgis Rally. This will be a true hooligan final. So this is hooligan racing in every way, shape, and form. So make sure you go check that out. This looks like a heck of a good time. Also going on from the AMA Supermoto, again at Jack Pine Gypsies. That's right. They are going to be running a super... Now I've got Josh on the line here. They're going to be running a For Reals Supermoto out at Jack Pine Gypsies. This is going to be dirt and asphalt. This is dirt bikes with slicks on them, racing on the dirt. This is going to be really, really good time. This is going on August 9th and 10th. This is an AMA sanctioned event. This is for championship points and all that kind of good stuff. I love Supermoto. If you've never seen Supermoto, you need to be putting this on your bucket list because it is an absolute hoot. I announced a Supermoto race, a grand champion or a championship out in Arizona several years ago and fell in love with it immediately. It is everything good about both race disciplines. It's rad, getting a knee down, road racing, and the next thing you know, you're like going over jumps in the dirt. It is a total hoot. It's a really good time, and they're gonna be doing it out at Sturgis. Now, enough of some race talk. Let's get down to some awesome entertainment. There are huge concerts going on every single night of the rally at many, many, many different locations. This is at the Buffalo Chip Rob Zombie. I think this looks like a heck of a good time, and it's my birthday, so if anybody's watching out there and wants to pony up a VIP pass for me out there at the Buffalo Chip, I will not say no. This is going on. This is Rob Zombie. I don't think he's ever performed out there. This looks like a heck of a good time. There is always really interesting music going on at the Buffalo Chip. It is one of my most favorite places to be during the entire Sturgis Rally. Not to be outdone, though, another very, very fun band that plays every single year at every single huge rally all across the country. This is Hairball. This is a super fun cover band. This is an incredibly good time. They are in costume. They sound great. They look great. It's just a fun party vibe. They're playing August 8th, 9th, and 10th at the Iron Horse. Iron Horse, of course, is located back over there on Junction Avenue near Lazelle. And they are playing 3 different nights at the Iron Horse. So make sure you put Hairball on your calendar as well. Next on my calendar of cool stuff that is going on out there, this is the All Out Bagger Show. This is powered by Rockford Fosgate, who are the folks that make audio. This is also Harley-Davidson backed and the folks over at V-Twin Visionary. This is going on down in Deadwood. This is August 9th. This is a daytime show, as most things are. This is August 9th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Again, this is going on down in Deadwood at the Outlaw Square. There is best of show, best performance, best road glide, best paint, best street glide, best road king, best audio, best custom, and Jeff G. Holt from V-Twin Visionary will be on hand. So that looks like a great time, and Deadwood is super, super fun and beautiful and very cool and a really awesome ride to get down there. So I definitely recommend going and checking this out. Another great bike show that's going on is the annual Sportster Showdown. The Sportster Showdown is hosted by the folks over at Lead Sled. A couple of great folks over there, including Mr. Pat at Lead Sled. He's a really, really fun, cool guy. And this takes place at Camp Zero. Camp Zero is the younger crowd. Is that the best way to put it? Yeah, younger crowd camp and party scene that goes on right next door to the Buffalo Chip. Camp Zero is a hoot. They host all sorts of just completely ridiculous mini bike racing, gymkhana, music, beers, party scene. It's off the chain. It's a really, really good time. If you've ever wondered what riding a motorcycle through a wall of PBR, Coors, or White Claw looks like, they do that regularly down there. Anyway, they are hosting the Sportster Showdown, and that takes place on August 9th. Another cool event that is going on that is a little bit more grown up than the Camp Zero. This is the annual induction breakfast for the Sturgis Motorcycle Museum Hall of Fame. This is an annual charity event to help support and fundraise for the Motorcycle Museum that is in Sturgis. Every year they induct people into their Hall of Fame, and they do it over a breakfast, which I think is very delightful because there's no really good yummy breakfast in all of Sturgis. So I think that is really nice. But this, however, is not in Sturgis. Do not be fooled. This is at the lodge at Deadwood. So again, this is heading down towards Deadwood. So you got that great ride in the morning and then a beautiful breakfast at the lodge, which is also another very, very beautiful location. So make sure you put that on your bucket list. Lots of luminaries go and attend this. Next up is going to be the Sportster Bike Show down in Deadwood. So Lead Sled is doing two different Sportster shows. The one is at Camp Zero. The other one is down in Deadwood. This is August 11th. From 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. And that is just about it. There's all sorts of other stuff going on. Those were just some of my highlights. Two other things to look out for are going to be the annual Tuesday Biker Bells Day. This is the women in motorcycling event. This is a ride. This is a lunch. This is going to be a bike show. The folks from Real Deal are there who are doing great skill session sets. You can learn to metal work, you can learn to do leather work, you can learn all sorts of great skills that circle around custom bike building. It is just a really, really excellent good time. Again, that is always on the Tuesday, and that is at the Buffalo Chip. Again, that's called Biker Bells. And then not to be outdone, the Legends Ride takes place every single year as well. That will be happening on Monday. For more information, click on over to the Buffalo Chip social media and Legends Ride to check that out. Josh, what did you think about that? What caught your fancy out here at Sturgis? What are you putting on your bucket list for when you go to Sturgis with me next year?
I am kind of overwhelmed just knowing all of the events that are going on. Now, to me, though, is I've loved Supermoto for decades. I mean, it started as a U.S. series back in the 80s, which was amazing. And then I actually had a chance to just tool around the parking lot on Thierry Vanden Bosch's AMA #1 plated moto bike probably 15 years ago. Most unrideable thing on the planet to me, which basically showed me how much of aliens these guys are that do this well. I've got a Supermoto set up for my bike, and so if I'm not out looking for gravel roads, I'm looking for kart tracks to go around that have some dirt. I mean, it sounds like an amazing week. It sounds like you would probably find me in the corner on the second day crying somewhere, though.
I love to give Josh a hard time. If you're a regular watcher of the show, you know Josh is a little bit of a introvert homebody. He prefers to recreate solo with his helmet on. He's crowd averse. I am crowd welcoming. So that's why we get along here. We're two Two sides of the
Exactly.
same coin. We both love motorcycles though, and that's all that matters. But Sturgis is genuinely a very, very good time. I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
There is a real there's no wrong way to do Sturgis, but I just want to take one more second and point out it's not just partying. It's not just getting drunk and falling off a bar stool. There's plenty of really great racing,
Yeah.
custom bike shows, chances to meet legends, chances to meet icons in the industry and shake hands and get that photo and get that autograph. It's just a really, really very cool week, and it's a very special place in American motorcycling. And that's why
For
I'm
sure.
looking forward to it. I'll be out there for an entire week with the folks at BMW at the BMW Sturgis dealership. If you are in the area, please do come say hey. I'll be there every single day from about 9 to 5. Now, Josh, what's going on with your second story for today?
So we've talked before. I mean, this last story kind of starts with, hey, watch this. A few weeks ago, we mentioned that Triumph and Harley were both going to Baja Aragón Rally in order to do just that. So this is a shot of the Triumph, and oh my God, is this first off a beautiful photograph. But so Ivan Cervantes won the trail class, which is bikes from 600 to 950 cc's. Now, the big thing with this is these bigger, heavier bikes are tougher to manage in this type of terrain. There's a reason why most people are going with 450 singles. They can get as much power as they can use, and they can stay lightweight with it. So he finished in a time of 6 hours, 13 minutes, and 32 seconds. It's a staged rally over a few days. He was 1 hour and 6 minutes ahead of the next trail class bike, which was a T7. The really impressive part about this was that he was 12th overall out of 75 competitors. To me, that is just absolutely insane, especially when you realize most of his competition was on 450 Dakar spec bikes. To manage this beast out in the desert and that type of terrain, to beat most of your competition, that is impressive. We've got another shot of him here, which to me is probably the view that most of the competition had for the entire time. That's the license plates, and that is it. So the thing that I find interesting about this, and Jacqui and I have kind of had this running joke now for a while, because we're 43 episodes now, so we're coming up on a year. Triumph has said that this is a great way to show that they are serious in their off-road presence. This is the off-road presence that they talked about. I looked at the calendar. It was just over a year ago. So I'm kind of like, hey, they said this is how they're going to announce their off-road presence. That's awesome. But they've been telling us other dirt-oriented vehicles. We still haven't seen them yet. I'm kind of like, I've been on the edge of my seat for a year now, and I'm kind of starting to sit back like, okay, when it happens, it happens. To me, though, I'm super excited that Triumph was able to do this and, place this well. Now, on top of that, Juan Pedrero on the Harley, which you see in this last slide here, she a big girl. That is a behemoth. That is 500 plus pounds of bone stock Harley-Davidson that did the same rally. He finished in 7 hours, 42 minutes, and 50 seconds. So they call, and this is how you know you're on a big bike. They call it the maxi trail. Like anyone, this is the maximum. If you go over this just isn't going to work. So he won the maxi trail class. He was actually a fair bit of time ahead of everyone else. Finished, towards the middle of the pack overall. To me, though, what's so impressive about that, to finish mid-pack against a bunch of 450s on a 514-pound just monster here, that is impressive as all get out. To me, it really shows the capabilities of modern ADV bikes. This is never going to win this race. But the fact that it finished, and the picture we see here was from about halfway through, and there's not a bunch of parts hanging off of it, like a yard sale, That says a ton. So what do you think, Jacqui? Are you, first off, are you going to order one of the Triumphs when they come out in 2028?
Well, first of all, we're all just gonna have to wait and see about that launch date. Secondly, I
Yes.
just want to take a second and point out I appreciate your commitment to Baja on Baja story today. Baja, Mexico, and Baja, Spain.
I do
Bravo.
what
I
I
do like
can.
a theme. Yeah, no. This first of all, you're right. First, just aesthetically, this picture is killer. The bike looks great. The photo is top
Yeah.
notch. It does not shock me at all. Evan Cervantes is incredibly talented. Triumph is no
Yes.
ding dong. Of course, they're going to put the best of the best on their bike to go campaign it
Yep.
at a race. So I'm not surprised by any of that. And the Triumph Tiger is a very capable machine, 900cc, and
100%.
the little bit of a diet that bike is on versus the Pan America is definitely giving it the leg up. I do say bravo to the Pan America folks, though, the Harley-Davidson folks, for even thinking to throw that bike in there. You're right; it is 550 pounds. It does
It's
go head to
amazing.
head with the BMW weight-wise, the BMW GS. So I think it took a lot of nerve to throw that bike in there. I think finishing in the
Yes.
middle and even completing the race, I think says a lot. I'm
On a
here for it.
stock bike against
Yeah.
factory bikes. And to me, no one's going to show up to, I mean, go to your local motocross track. No one is showing up with a stock bike. This is a
Yeah.
stock bike, like off the showroom floor, slap a set of tires on it. Have a nice day.
Yeah. I think it's a great story. I was very curious to hear how this was going to turn out when you brought this to our attention a week or two ago. I've been
Yeah.
waiting to see how this was going to shake loose. Pun intended. I didn't really. I had my fingers crossed for the
Wow.
Harley-Davidson folks.
Yeah, I did too.
And it seems like
I am so glad it turned out as
seems like
well as
they
it
did.
did.
It seems like they did great. This is a tale of two Bajas today, and they both were very interesting stories. I hope that you
Yes.
enjoyed today's program. This is your official Sturgis Roundup show. So make sure you take a minute, share this video with all of your friends who may or may not be heading out
Please.
to America's largest motorcycling rally that takes place from August
They can
5th
hang out
to
with
the
me.
13th. Oh, or exactly. Maybe one year we'll get Josh to go. I, however, will be there. So if you come on out, make sure you come say hey. Have a great time. Do ride safe. Be safe out there. Have fun. And
Yes.
I will see you. Our next show, I'll be coming at you from Sturgis. So have a great day, everybody. And we'll see you next week.